Hi there guys, Chatty Chatot here, and welcome back to, well, not welcome back, but welcome to another blog. Well, sort of. It's sort of another blog. Today we are doing something a bit different. I have no idea what to call it, but basically it's Pokemon Misconceptions. Now, so like I say, this is sort of an interesting blog that I wanted to talk about a couple of things, and it's obviously Pokemon related, so please if you like this video, guys, because it is something a bit different, so I want to know if you guys like this. So, Pokemon Misconceptions. Now, as most people know from the streams and everything, I am a Gen 1. I'm not a Gen 1er, I'm a Gen 1. Which means I started my journey from the very, very beginning. I had a copy of Pokemon Red. That is where my journey with Pokemon started. Now, back then, when it was released in 1994 in Japan, I think it was 1996, 1998 over here. I can't remember off the top of my head. But anyway, back then, internet was around, but you were lucky if you had it if you were a kid. I certainly didn't when I was that age, so there was a lot of misconceptions about Pokemon, and this is where you bought the manuals and everything. I was trying to find one to try and show you guys what I was talking about. Maybe I'll hit gold and I'll show you guys in another video, but back to where I was talking about. Basically, there was a lack of information, so a lot of rumours got spread around the playground about different things, and a lot of misconceptions happened as well. Now, when I was a kid, I was very, very shy, so I didn't really have many people to play Pokemon with, and I had a lot of type misconceptions, just from looking at the Pokemon and their sprites, and I didn't realise the typing. I didn't really pay much attention back in Gen 1 because it was the first game I had. I was really excited. I really enjoyed the game. I've just nudged my mic. And so I'm going to go over a couple of my personal misconceptions and why I think I thought that at the time. Bear in mind that I don't think that they're these typings now. Obviously, I've grown up. I read more of the text. And also we had the internet come along as well. So I'm going to go through the different gens, and up to around about Gen 3, Gen 4. I would say Gen 3 is where I had some misconceptions with typing still, but that was probably the borderline where I thought stupid things about Pokemon. So anyway, without further ado, let's go. This is in no particular order, so I'm just going to flick through them. And yay! Type misconceptions! Right, so Gen 1, which was Pokedex number 1 to 151. That's right, the whole shabam. Okay, where do I start? Let's start with some common ones, which I'm sure some of you guys have got it wrong. So, a common one that a lot of people got wrong was a Pokemon that everyone thought was water dragon type. I think people know which Pokemon I'm talking about. Of course, I'm talking about Gyarados. And I don't think it catches everybody off guard if you're really into Pokemon, but for people who just started, it does look like a dragon. And even when it Mega Evolves, it still doesn't get the dragon typing. It doesn't. It is forever water flying, which is its actual typing. Now, why did I think this at the time? Now, I never got a Gyarados until Gen 2, which was the shiny Gyarados at Rage Lake. So my conceptions of Gyarados were from so I never really caught one in Gen 1 because I didn't have the patience to train up a Magikarp. So I know it more from the anime, and it looked like a dragon. It roared like a dragon. I remember there was an anime episode where James actually bought a Magikarp, and it was useless, so he kicked it overboard, and then it evolved, and it got angry, and it tried to kill Team Rocket. And also there was Blue's Gyarados. Blue has a Gyarados in the Gen 1 games, and those are probably why I had the misconception, because I never had the information from the Pokedex saying it was water flying. It's always been water flying. It's never been dragon, but it does look like a dragon. But I think a lot of us had that misconception when we were originally playing the games. So that unless you had a manual or one of these like Pokedex books, it wouldn't tell you. And also bear in mind that sort of dual typing was not really a thing then. I can't even remember what its primary typing was, but mainly it is that typing. It's never ever been dragon, ever, full stop. Another common one was actually well, at least what I thought was quite a common one was polygon. Now polygon is probably a common one, mainly because not many people had a polygon, because the only way you could get it in Gen 1 was through the Games Corner, and you had to do a lot of grinding to get one. And to my surprise, I didn't know it was normal type until, or at least I didn't think it was normal type until Gen 4, Gen 5, maybe even Gen 6. That's quite embarrassing for me, really. But I think it's quite a common misconception, because some people think of it as a flying type because it levitates. Some people think of it as a psychic type because it has Psybeam. It can learn Psybeam. It can learn a lot of different moves. So, and also, like, you never see it in the anime. It's not really a seen mon. So that's probably why. I always thought it had a bit of flying in it because it looked like a bird. So I thought it was sort of either flying or psychic, because you saw it use Psybeam all the time. But it's actually normal type, which shocked me when I first saw it. I was like, oh, why is it normal type? Well, there is a good reason why it's normal type, really, because obviously it's a man-made Pokemon, so it's going to be normal typing. Yeah. Dips on me and my younger self. Right, time for the ones which are probably less common and things that me personally thought in Gen 1. So we're going to go on to Tauros. Now, Tauros, I didn't think was a normal type. Yeah, I didn't think it was a normal type. Do you want to know what type I thought it was? I thought it was a ground type. The reason I thought it was ground type was mainly because of the colouring, I think. And it stampeded like a bull, so there was a lot of dust and stuff like that. I didn't really think it was a normal type Pokemon. And I think the other reason I didn't really think of it like that in Gen 1, at least, was because it was super hard to catch. You could only get it in the Safari Zone. It was a rare encounter anyway, and it was hard to catch because in the Safari Zone, for people who haven't played the Safari Zone, I'm sure most of you have, you either had to throw rocks, throw bait, or throw a ball, or run. That was it. So you had to guess the amount of time you threw bait, throw rock, and throw bait. You had to get the balance just right, otherwise it would run away. And so I never really caught one in Gen 1. It was the most frustrating thing ever. I tried to catch a Chansey in Gen 1 and it ended so poorly. I was not happy. I raged so hard. So imagine a smaller version of me, like with a Game Boy in front of me. Put a Game Boy here, editor. Game Boy in front of me, and it was just, oh god. So yeah, that's probably why I thought it was a ground type, just to justify my younger self. Another one that I did when I was a kid, another misconception type-wise for me, was Zubat and Golbat. Oh boy. Right, okay, where do I begin with these two? Now, I thought, because you had Pidgey. Now, Pidgey was one of the first encounters I had. I think most people had this. I didn't encounter, like, a Caterpie or a Weedle straight away. I got a Pidgey first in my first encounter. I remember it very, very well because that had an impact on me, which is why flying types is one of my favourite types, because that was one of the first Pokemon I encountered with my starter, which was a Squirtle, by the way. But anyway, it was a normal flying type. or it was bird type actually back then. There was a bird typing. But yeah, just because that was that. When I got to the cave section of the game, like Rocky Tunnel for example, and there was Zubats everywhere, and Mount Moon as well. Mount Moon was probably the prime suspect. There were Zubats everywhere. Obviously later in the game we got Golbats, but I thought they were just normal flying. That was it. I thought they were normal flying. That was it. Or just flying. Didn't think they were flying poison at all. Hadn't got the foggiest idea that they were poison type, because I just didn't see them as poisonous, because I had such a sort of... I like animals in general, and I like to know my knowledge about animals. I don't know why. I always have done. Always will. But my knowledge of bats is... Bats aren't poisonous. Full stop. They're not poisonous. They do, like vampire bats do secrete an enzyme which thins the blood and everything like that, and another one to close the wound up after they're done. But that is about it. Sorry to go into disgusting detail. And fruit bats, which are the really big ones, which is what Zubat is kind of based off of, well, Golbat mainly, they just eat fruit and nectar. That's it. No poison in them whatsoever. And I thought by that logic that they would have gone for normal flying type. There was no dark type at this point, otherwise I would have said dark type. But yeah, my brain was like, no, it can't be that. So I got really confused when it started using some odd poison moves. Yeah. Bless the younger version of me. Anyway, that's all the Gen 1 stuff. I've actually got some time to go over, because I had some misconceptions over Gen 2, but I think I'll leave that actually for another video. Oh boy, there were some common ones and there was some less common ones. Yeah, they weren't good. So yeah guys, so why don't you tell me, what were your misconceptions when you played Gen 1? I mean, I'm sure there's other Gen 1s out there. What were your misconceptions when you first played the game? What was your first starter? Why don't you comment down below and let me know? Was I the only one who thought Tauros was just a ground type? Can someone else share my pain? This is kind of embarrassing me admitting the faults. But anyway, guys, if you like the video, please like, please subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. You gotta know exactly when I'm streaming, exactly when I'm uploading as well. If you like the series as well, guys, let me know in the comment section below. Let me know if you want me to do Gen 2, Gen 3, possibly a bit of Gen 4. I probably might put Gen 3 and Gen 4 together, about a couple of misconceptions that I thought when I first saw some Pokemon as well as some of the later ones where I first saw teasers for them and things like that. So yeah, come and let me know, comment down below. Anyway guys, if you haven't got your Pokemon fixed, don't worry, there's plenty of stuff on the channel. There's top 5s, there are playthroughs going on, we got the Forfeit Lock and the Skylock going on, we got the streams, we got Versus Reloaded coming soon, which should be in this slot today. But unfortunately I am a little bit behind on the artwork because I'm on holiday and everything, so Versus Reloaded is coming soon, so keep out for that. Also there's some Minecraft stuff and there is some random guest games as well, so go and check those out. Anyway guys, I've chatted on enough as per normal, and I will see you in the next video. But remember guys, chat on!